Hi, I'm Lida Carolina Lesmes from Bogota, Colombia.
I live in Villavicencio City.
I'm biology and microbiology professor at Universidad de los Llanos in Villavicencio.
Since I was a child, the biology has been my biggest passion. I just always knew that the biology was my way. I studied into a public university that is very competitive to get in. I had to study a lot. I think that in Colombia it's very difficult to become a scientist because here we don't have the support of the government. We don't have money support for our research.
The aim of our project is to study immunological interaction between endemic and emerging viruses like SARS-CoV-2.
How is the immune system in people who were exposed to SARS-CoV-2 and that were also infected at some point in their life with another kind of human coronavirus, the ones that cause a common flu. The idea is to looking for antibodies for this kind of coronaviruses and to check if they could give us some immunity against COVID-19 disease.
This enables us to be better prepared for future coronavirus pandemics.
We need to know how to react to that kind of viruses.
Now we are at Universidad de los Llanos. Like you can see, this is a beautiful place located into a hotspot of biodiversity.
My motivation for applying to Empower Fellowship was to carry on my project in top research centers like ICGEB.
We have some equipments, but we don't have all. So for that reason, I would like to go to South Africa.
It has great facilities. It has top laboratories in India, Italy, and South Africa, and also has great networking around the world. Then I wanted to learn about new technologies of emerging viruses here. When I knew that I got the scholarship, I was very happy.
That was fantastic. I didn't imagine, actually. I didn't imagine. I just called my family, my mom, I called my colleagues.
Completely changed my life. I started to think how will be my life in South Africa, how will be my research, how will improve my career. So it was a very happy moment. When I arrived here, wasn't easy for me at the beginning because I had to adapt it to very different culture. I also was homesick at the beginning, but everything in ICGEB was perfect. Here the people are very kind and very friendly with me. My supervisor, Georgia Schaffer, is a great leader. She's very smart, very clear with her explanation, and she always has a smile in her face, and she always has a good energy.
My name is Georgia Schaffer. I'm heading the Virology Emerging Viruses group at the ICGEB component in South Africa, in Cape Town. And here my research focuses on oncogenic viruses as well as COVID-19 and SARS-CoV-2. So the Empower Fellowship program was launched last year with the idea to give emerging female scientists from the Global South the opportunity to spend a 6-month research visit in one of the ICGEB components, either in Cape Town or New Delhi. Lida's project proposal seeks to understand the serology of common coronaviruses, and she asked whether pre-exposure to these common coronaviruses might have some cross-protection against SARS-CoV-2 infection. I found this really interesting because so far my research was on COVID-19 and I had clinical cohorts, both non-hospitalized and hospitalized COVID patients, and I looked at co-infections with other viruses, but I have not looked at common coronaviruses yet. So Lida came in and suggested to set up a test pipeline in the laboratory to test the existing clinical samples from my research for the presence of these common coronaviruses and do a statistical analysis to see whether there is some association between pre-exposure to these common coronaviruses and protection against COVID-19 disease.
We found out excellent results.
One of these 4 common coronaviruses,
Int'l coronavirus that causes common cold,
seems to cross-protect against severe COVID-19 disease. So I think it was a very successful research visit.
As professor at Universidad de los Llanos in Colombia, the idea is to transmit to my students all the knowledge I have learned here at ICGEB. I think it's important to mention that the project was created together with Professor Dumar Alexander Jaramillo Hernandez. We both create the line of research in seroepidemiology of SARS-CoV-2 to young women that want to become a scientist. I would like to say that there is no recipe or a protocol to follow in order to become a scientist, but with some values like responsibility, discipline, and perseverance, you can accomplish all what you want.